Good evening and welcome to our virtual French Immersion interest meeting for Sligo Creek Elementary School. My name is Nellie Thompson and I'm the French Immersion coordinator here at Sligo Creek Elementary. This evening, I'm going to give you a virtual tour of our school, introduce you to some important people, answer some frequently asked questions, and end with the immersion interest form. Please know that at the end of this recording, if you have any questions regarding French Immersion at Sligo Creek or any other school, please feel free to send me an email and I'd be happy to answer you. I'm going to share my screen. So this is our dynamic duo, the fabulous Mrs. Stephanie Neesmith, our principal, and Miss Crystal Brown, our assistant principal. And now let's take a tour of our school. Here you will see our car circle. So this is the main entrance to our school. This is where students and guests arrive and depart our school. If students are to arrive and depart by car, they would come into this car loop. Once they enter these doors, they will enter up the grand staircase, which is what we call the staircase right here, and they will go left, which will take them to the all the kindergarten classrooms and the main hallway. To the right is our main office. And here is our bus loop. So if students were to arrive by bus, this is where they would arrive and depart. Once they've entered the grand staircase and turned left, this is the hallway that they would see. To the left, and then down this hallway, we have the kindergarten classrooms, the gym, the media center are further down, and even more classrooms down that hallway. Here's our gymnasium, and this is where we have PE classes as well as assemblies. This is our media center where students check out a bunch of books and magazines in French. And we also have media lessons, book checkout, as well as research activities. And here is our newly renovated recess ground, thanks to our incredible PTA, all the bells and whistles. And here we have our kindergarten courtyard only for our kindergarten students who need a couple extra breaks during the day as they get used to their long elementary school day. So let's talk a little bit about the history. French Immersion, our French Immersion program is the oldest in the nation. It began in 1974 at Quatre Coins, Four Corners, and we are actually celebrating our 50-year anniversary this year. We copied the strategy and the program from the Canadians, who are one of the pioneers of immersion. We are located in the Old Blair High School in downtown Silver Spring, and we share our campus with Silver Spring International, which is our feeder school. So what does immersion look like? Immersion is a strategy by which one would learn a language. Students are immersed into a French-only environment, but from the first day of school. We do our best to create a French bubble. Teachers speak only in the target language, which is French, and no one is ever allowed to speak English except for the kindergarten students who speak because this is their first time learning French, as well as the first graders the first couple months of the year. By doing this, this helps us to help the students think in the target language rather than translating, which we know is optimal for second language acquisition, and it helps them to be more fluid in their thought, both orally and in writing. Teachers use a ton of strategies to help the students understand what they are saying, especially in the primary grades, kindergarten, first and second. Some of those strategies are regalia, so using real world objects, rhymes, songs, all kinds of movement and gestures, as well as repetition. This helps the students make sense of everything that the teacher is saying. And before you know it, in kindergarten, those students are asking questions independently by the month of October, like, can I go to the bathroom? Or, merci, à demain. In our school, we have 2 classes per grade level, and we have from kindergarten until 5th grade. Our program is considered a 90-10 program. That means 90% of their day is in French and 10% is in English. And that is the 10% represents their specials, music, art, and PE, as well as lunch and recess and media. Once they get to 4th grade, they have the second half of the year, they'll have English once a week, and that focuses on the writing process. In 5th grade, it becomes an 80-20 model because they will have English the whole year, 4 days a week, focusing also on written expression. And beyond elementary school, as you might be aware, French Immersion is a K-8 program. That means we go until 8th grade. Our continuing program goes to Silver Spring International, which we're very lucky to share a campus. And that program is considered partial immersion because 2 of their 7 classes are immersion, French immersion classes. Steps for immersion. If you have not done so already, the steps that you follow to enroll your children, especially in kindergarten, but for any child, if they do not already have an MCPS ID number, you need to do what's called a pre-enrollment in your neighborhood elementary school. So we recommend you calling the school and asking the school to set up an appointment because you would like to pre-enroll your child so they can participate in the immersion lotteries. By doing this, you would get an MCPS student ID, and you would need that ID in order to fill out and submit the immersion interest form. That interest form is currently available on our website as well as the MCPS website. Please verify that it is for the school year 24-25, since I think we have access to the other previous years. Also, please verify that all the information that you input is correct, especially age, contact information, etc. In May, you'll receive a message from the consortia office that will either invite your child to the program or your child's waitlist number. If you have been invited, you will have 5 days to respond, so make sure you check all the boxes and send that information if you are choosing to attend. Once you have accepted the seat, we will again ask you to come to the school or to send us the information that you use to enroll in your neighborhood elementary school. Some frequently asked questions that I hear are, do I have to speak French for my child to be successful? Absolutely not. This program was developed for speakers of other languages. In Canada, most specifically, they wanted their citizens to be bilingual. We know that through research that every child can be in an immersion program and learn that language. The more the child practices the language, the stronger the child's language skills will be. And how can you help with homework? Also a great question, one that we get a lot. Before I answer it, it's important to remember that the purpose of homework is a review of what was learned that day. So if you see a pattern of your child having trouble with homework, the best next step would be to contact the teacher to try and mitigate what is happening and where the breakdown is. There are several strategies that we can put in place to help with that. But also, if your child has trouble with the homework and it's a one-time thing or here and there, they can always call a friend, look on the page that the teacher posts to see what's happening and do their best work. This is a great way to help your child develop some independence with homework, which is a good skill to learn. Will my younger child get into the program? Unfortunately, not too long ago, there was the Board of Ed passed a decision where there's no more the sibling link, where there is an automatic get-in, but we do sibling factors, sort of giving the child an extra ticket, an extra chance into it, but not a guarantee. And the curriculum that we use is the same curriculum using the Common Core standards as our English counterparts. We just adapt them in French. So if you look on the Common Core standards, we use those standards and adapt it using different resources that we can find that are authentic and at times translated resources. Will my child learn English? Oh, yes. Research shows that if a child has a solid foundation of their maternal language, and here we're, for many people, we'll say is English, then the second language acquisition, so learning French, is very fluid. Then without any English instruction, in the first 4 years of immersion, their English reading level will be the same as, if not stronger than, their second language reading level. Now, that is assuming there are no learning challenges. If there are learning challenges, the child will learn English, but the trajectory will just be a little bit different. That being said, English instruction focusing only on writing is introduced the second semester in 4th grade once a week, and then 4 times a week all year long in 5th grade. Well, where will my child find books to read? That is a great question for French. We're lucky that our media center is packed with books in French, high interest books, as well as high interest magazines in French. And our teachers also have a good collection of French books for students to check out and take home to practice. We also have some links to some online books such as Reading A to Z in French. Do we have an offer an aftercare program? We sure do, and we are lucky to have Kids Co at our school, and they are here before and after school. Their contact is at the end of this presentation, and they are very popular. Does my child have to speak French the first day of kindergarten? No, no, no. We understand and expect our students in kindergarten to not have any French background. If they do, it's okay, but I would say about 85 to 90% don't have any French background. And that's our job, is to help build their language using all those strategies I was referring to earlier. Will I get transportation? So as of now, and this is, I'm told to say, as of now, the county will provide transportation if you are within our catchment area, so the southern part of the county. However, typically the bus stops tend to be at a central location, such as an elementary school that's nearby or a community center that's nearby. The transportation department is the department that creates the bus routes, and it's based on enrollment. So the bus routes tend to change a little bit over the summer, and I don't believe they start making those transportation and routes until the month of July. But all questions about the routes should be directed to the transportation department. Can I volunteer in the classroom? Yes, please. We love volunteers. The only thing is we do not accept any English in the classroom, but there are tons of ways that you can help in the classroom and outside of the classroom if you are able to help. Some things that you can do to get your children ready for school in the summer, especially your rising kindergartners and first grade, is continue to read with your children. Talk about everything that you do. All this discourse helps them to build their bank of vocabulary, which will transfer and help them when they're acquiring French. Also, start talking about the upcoming adventure that they're going to be joining a French immersion program. It's all in the marketing. So as excited as you are, they will take on that excitement. It'll be easier for them to adjust. Some things you can do to help your children to be independent in school, and this is geared towards our rising kindergarten and first grade students, is work with them to practice tying their shoes. Have them carry their own bag and zip up the buttons of their own pants and jackets. Teach them to be independent in the bathroom. Practice writing and identifying their upper and lowercase letters. Practice writing and recognizing their own name. And practice writing and recognizing the numbers 1 through 20. Also, our Sligo Creek webpage should have some good activities for the summer, posted probably around the month of June. In here, you will see a few songs that you can in French, a little bit of letters, and some other practice in the French language, should you want to broach that over the summer. Let's meet some of our teachers. We have our dynamic kindergarten team, Madame Johnson and Madame Lecky, with some pictures of their classrooms. And then we have our fabulous first grade team. We have Madame Anderson and Mademoiselle Dico, and some pictures from their classroom, as well as Madame Johnston, who is our reading initiative teacher. Madame Johnston works with students in first and second grade who are having a little bit more trouble with learning to read in French. Our second grade team is Madame Aik and Madame Lamkies, along with some pictures from classrooms. Next, we have our third grade team, Madame Kenju and Monsieur Amond. Also, third grade, some pictures from their classroom. And a little fun fact is Mr. Amond was one of my students a long time ago. And in fourth grade, we have Monsieur Zarbo and Madame Raz. Some of their magazine, key vocabulary, word walls in their classroom. Last but not least, we have Madame Panatier and Madame Kellinger, our great fifth grade teachers, with some key math vocabulary as well as genre studies. As promised, we have the Kids Co information. As soon as you've decided to come to Sligo Creek, it's best to sign up early. They tend to be very popular. We will have our next in-person interest meeting March 14th, but please remember that should you have any questions about immersion, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. My name is Nellie Thompson, and my email is here. I'll leave it on the screen for a couple seconds. And you can also find it on the website. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you une superbe soirée et j'espère à bientôt.